The warning lights on the alien vessel pulsed in a slow and painful rhythm. Every flicker marked failing power lines, fractured conduits, and a life support system struggling to keep pace with the void outside. The ship drifted in the blackness, a lonely speck caught between distant stars and the hunger of deep space. Its crew moved with tired limbs and quiet worry, each step heavier than the last. Their captain, a tall figure named Aro, placed a hand on the central console. The surface hummed under his touch, warm yet weakening. His voice carried the weight of many hours without rest. Send the signal again. Someone must answer. His second officer, a calm and precise thinker named Raylan, tapped the sequence that activated the emergency beacon. A pulse shot into the cosmic dark. It carried a simple message. Help needed. Life forms in danger. For 3 cycles, no one replied. Their vessel had been swallowed by a debris field after a sudden engine malfunction. Metal shards ripped into their hull, forced them off course, and left them with only auxiliary power. They floated outside normal lanes now. They were alone in a place where ships rarely passed. The crew maintained discipline. They repaired internal sections. They rationed supplies. They rotated rest schedules. Yet the truth hung over them. They would not last long. Their ship, once proud, now resembled a wounded animal clinging to life. Raylan examined the communication panel. Signal sent, again and again. No response. Aro exhaled slowly. His features twitched with frustration. We keep trying. There must be someone out there. Another crew member, young and hopeful, adjusted a sensor screen. Maybe another patrol will cross our path soon. But Aro already knew the odds. The region was isolated. Their path had taken them between mapped sectors. They were stranded. Then, just as the silence began to feel permanent, something changed. A flicker on the screen. A faint return signal. Weak, but real. The crew turned as one, their hearts lifting as though gravity had eased. Raylan leaned forward. It is a reply. Aro steadied his breath. From who? Raylan adjusted the translator. One ship, small, human origin. Aro blinked. He had heard of humans, but never met one. Their species traveled far less than others. They had fewer ships. They were seen as bold, yet unpredictable. Some said humans took risks no other species would attempt. If any being would answer a distress call in the middle of nowhere, perhaps it was one of them. The signal grew stronger. A message followed in a clear and confident voice. This is Pilot Mark, responding to your call. I picked up your signal and am en route. Hold tight. I will reach you. The crew exchanged looks of relief and surprise. Aro activated his channel. Pilot Mark, we thank you. Our engines are damaged. Our systems fail. We cannot move. The reply came with steady assurance. Understood. I will dock manually. Stay calm. Mark's small craft approached like a single spark drifting toward a dying flame. Through the transparent screen of the alien vessel, the crew watched his ship glide closer. Its maneuvering thrusters fired in controlled bursts. Unlike their slender and curved vessel, Mark's craft was angular and compact. It was built for endurance, not elegance. The docking clamp aligned. A gentle thud echoed through the hull. They felt it all the way to the deck. Hope became a physical sensation. Mark had arrived. Aro and Raylan waited at the airlock as the pressure equalized. The door slid open. A human stepped through with calm eyes and a sturdy frame. He wore a suit marked by long travel. His expression was focused, not fearful. He glanced at the crew, gave a short nod, and spoke. Show me the damage. There was no hesitation in him, no uncertainty. He simply acted. Aro led him through the corridors. The ship's dim lights cast long shadows on the walls. We lost main power. We sealed 4 sections. The core is unstable. Repairs exceed our skill. Mark knelt beside a power junction and opened the panel. Inside, tangled wires and burnt coils showed the extent of the damage. He whistled softly. This is bad, but not impossible. R'Elan studied him. You believe you can fix it, Mark shrugged lightly. I can try. Your systems are different, but power is power. Circuits are circuits. I can work with this. He requested tools, studied schematics, and asked only essential questions. His hands moved with practiced certainty. The crew watched as he diagnosed faults, rerouted energy, and replaced damaged parts with improvised solutions from his ship. Hours passed. The air grew warmer as life support stabilized. The hum of the vessel shifted to a healthier pitch. Finally, Mark stepped back from the console. I restored auxiliary flow. You have more time now. Not full power, but enough to keep everyone safe while we try something else. Aro felt a heaviness lift from his chest. You saved us. Mark shook his head. Not yet. You are still stuck. He asked for a map of their position. R'Elan projected their coordinates. Mark studied the star paths. You drifted into a dead zone. No routes. If no one else comes, you cannot rely on help. Aro looked at him. What do you propose? Mark pointed at his own ship. My craft is small, but its engine is strong. I can tow you out if I anchor to your hull and fire in controlled bursts. It will be slow, dangerous, but possible. The crew exchanged glances. The strain on his ship could destroy it. Aro said quietly, You risk much for strangers. Mark responded simply, You called for help. No one else came. That makes the choice clear. He began preparations at once. Using reinforced clamps, he attached his vessel to their hull. He programmed flight paths, calculated thrust limits, and warned the crew to secure themselves. Once we start, your ship will shake. Keep everything locked down. When he took his seat in his small cockpit, he spoke through the channel. Ready when you are. Aro responded. Proceed. The first burn shook the vessel like a mountain struck by a hammer. The alien crew gripped railings. Metal groaned. Mark increased thrust. The ship moved. Slowly at first. Then more. He adjusted course with precision. Every motion required skill. One wrong angle could tear the vessels apart. For hours, he pulled them through the silent dark. The crew listened to the radio. Mark spoke to them now and then, keeping spirits steady. Still with you. Still pulling. Hold on. We are making good progress. R'Elan checked sensors. We are leaving the dead zone. Aro felt hope turn into something brighter. We will survive. But the strain on Mark's engine grew. Warnings lit his console. Heat rose. Fuel reserves drained faster than planned. He ignored the discomfort and remained focused. His voice stayed calm, almost clear. Do not worry. Suddenly, turbulence struck. A wave of displaced debris rocked the vessels. The alien ship lurched sideways. Mark fought the controls. His ship rang with stress. Hold steady. I have you. The clamps creaked. Aro gripped the console. If the clamps fail, we are lost. Mark increased stabilizers. The shaking eased. He returned them to a straight path. His voice returned, steady and confident. Not losing you. Stay with me? Minutes later, the turbulence faded. The stars widened into a region filled with normal traffic lanes. R'Elan checked signals. We are in mapped space again. Other ships can detect us. Mark released a slow breath. Then you are safe. When the tow was complete, he detached the clamps and drifted beside their ship. Aro hailed him. "You saved our crew, our ship, our lives. We offer our deepest gratitude." Mark responded with gentle humor. "Glad to hear it. Your ship deserves better days." Rilan stepped closer to the screen. "You risked your ship for us. You faced the void alone. You chose action when others stayed silent." Why? Mark paused, thoughtful. Because someone should. Because leaving people behind in the dark is wrong. Because I would want someone to do the same for me. The alien crew stood in quiet awe. Stories said humans were unpredictable, bold, even reckless. Yet this human had shown something stronger than recklessness. He had shown resolve, courage, a refusal to let fear guide him. Aro spoke with respect. "You will be honored in our records." Mark waved the idea away. "You do not need to honor me. Just make it home." Their repaired systems now had enough stability to call nearby stations. In minutes, other vessels responded. A fleet prepared to escort them. They were safe beyond doubt. Mark made ready to depart. Aro contacted him one last time. "If ever you require aid, call us. We will answer." Mark smiled slightly. Good to know. His ship turned toward the stars. Engines ignited. He vanished into the vastness, leaving only a trail of light behind. Aro watched the fading glow. He came alone into darkness. He carried us back to life. Let his actions be remembered. Rilan nodded. A human responded when no one else would. Their vessel hummed with renewed strength. Their crew prepared for rescue ships. But in their hearts, they carried a story they would pass down for generations. A story of a lone human who heard their call across the emptiness and answered without hesitation. A story of courage, born not from power, but from choice. Story proving that even in the deepest dark, a single human could become the brightest light.